don't have priority in that mid lane, you know, Ryze is still probably going to clear that out fairly well early into the game. And the bot lane, Jinx tends to overtake the fellow. So it looks like Selfmade will have more options.
Vitality, but at the same time, to say that now,
yeah, just wanted to, because of course, actually, when you do have these early wards, you can give XP to solo laners and for them. Seems like actually it's going to be the right... Okay, we're fighting heavy here.
I mean, Labrov is just trying to slow down Zanzara as much as he possibly can, just so he can't get the reset in.
You fall behind, though. You're going to go into the Devour. It's going to be a huge shield coming out. You're going to be falling behind. Speaking about early advantages, Vitality looking topside for theirs.
Yeah, well, White Knight recognizes now he's probably been a little bit too far forward. He's just going to try and deny the assist and actually pushes himself a little far forward. The minions in the turret will do enough. Does waste his flash. I feel like he thought he could have gotten away. Playoffs, let alone get far in playoffs. This was a team that was constructed out of the best parts that Europe has access to. Now to stop myself now, as we can see the Karzi in a lot of trouble, is going to get knocked up, is going to get stunned over the side, but Zanzara follows him over, and that is another kill going over to, sorry, the first kill for Astralis.
And that was Herald time. Look out for the next couple of waves, see what's happening with these supports pushing out and roaming. Labrov working his way up the rift. Maybe potentially looking to get... Oh, he's popped that. Of course, he knows he's on the weak side of that point because they've committed so many members towards that bot side. Zanzara now going to be spotted out on vision. He's going to get rid on those traps.
I mean, he's going to have to try and go for something here because he knows he's very much caught between a rock and a hard place. Double knock up with the Desolate Dive. And that's going to be a trade of kill. The Jinx does fall. Promiscu gets himself over the wall. Labrov can't actually get the tongue lash just there. He did. That's going to be the crescendo to try and keep them away. They're grabbing him as well. They're doing nicely. They eventually get Perks' flash out of him, and it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Vitality.
It's overstep around that red buff. You don't have to commit to it. Going to take themselves some plates instead. In trade for a splitting of the early dragons, it's going to be that Mountain Rift.
Tier 1, so Astralis still getting a decent trade out of it despite losing their top laner as Rifty has been summoned up to the top side.
I was about to say, you know, you want to go towards that Herald 2, maybe secure a first turret, get yourself a few more plates on the table, open up a crockery store for yourself, but it's the first tower over to the Astralis, who has 1,000 gold lead at this point. There might be a second charge in topside, but look at these weapons. Chakrams galore. Kobe going to shred this turret.
Yeah, and with the added Demacian standard means he gets a little bit of extra attack speed, and they should be able to take themselves to tier 2. So the advantage you get with taking away the Rift Herald is basically just nullified and mitigated. In fact, anything
in their own hands, they lose. Of course, it comes down to that game against Mad. Later into the day, we have yet again side lanes split, but Vitality choosing to commit on this one.
I don't know. They know exactly where Dayor and Promiscu is. This could be a massive Shadow Surge. We're going to have a full 5v5. Here we go. 3-man knock-up onto the backside. It's a fight on two fronts. It's a 3v2 and a 3v2. Kobe gets self-made, and this is Astralis just playing keep away right now. They have still yet to commit Dayor as they trade back the jungler for the support. Kobe, though, very, very low. If he gets caught out, he will die. It's going to be Labrov and Alfari leading the charge. The Vanguard here. Tongue Lash will not land. And they all try and back themselves away. Kobe, though, still feeling like he needs to be protected, will have to flash away from the oncoming Super Mega Det Rocket.
And serious credit to a couple of people on having real discipline. Labrov not using that ultimate of that Devour. And on the similar side, Dayor actually choosing not to commit. Was there on the flank with Promiscu. Promiscu went in as a bit of a rearguard action, but I could have gone...
This top side gets some more gold in the discomposition.
Yeah, so, again, looking towards this posturing, looking to see who's going to be pulling the... Swinging the hammer blow.
They're going to try and go on top of the Tam Kench because they know he's the safety for the Jinx. If they get Zanzara taken down, they can't get the Shadow Surge onto the backside. It's going to be a double knock-up. Kobe has to go off, but he's just not got the damage. Vitality get themselves a full, clean ace, and this game has been turned on its head.
I mean, reports of Vitality, but it wasn't, of course, Karzi caught up. The Devour wasn't used to save the Jinx, it used to save the jungler. Things went from bad to worse from there.
I mean, this is just such a... I get it. You want to get rid of the Tam Kench, but look at what you've just given up. 2 turrets in mid, a tier 2 in top, a dragon. This is now out of left field, a 5. You just need to burn stuff off of Karzi. You need to try and get him away from the fight, so even if he doesn't die, he's no longer involved. TP's going to be coming in. That's going to be Dayor, though. It's Zanzara going to find Perks. They're going to try and fully commit to this one here, but the Everfrost keeps him nice and safe. That's a very tanky rise. Alfari now on the backside here. We'll be going mega very, very soon. Zanzara, though, will not fall down just yet. The Cataclysm comes in with the Gore Trigger. He hasn't fallen now. He does. Alfari, though, left left in a very precarious position. Dayor, though, has been separated from his team, and the rest of Vitality have come to save the day. Perks didn't need it in the end anyway, as Vitality find 3 and Astralis are falling apart.
They're falling apart. They reached for the stars. They reached for.
He fully committed when I felt like he could have, and yes, you could argue the different semantics of a million different possibilities of what could happen, but at the end of the day, when you're on something like the Vex, you gotta commit. Just like this, double flashes have been in on the Karzi, and that is a small silver lining here for Astralis.
It is because, of course, if you don't have the Jinx, you don't want to be fighting. If Astralis does plenty of damage in his own right, has that 2 items. And this is with the Baron spawned. You have good weapons for it too. You got those chakrams. I think you have to. They might be the Hail Mary.
I mean, you gotta flip it. This is a flip I actually 100% condone. Here they go. They're going to see Vitality trying to go in. They are going to get the spear onto Selfmade. He's already down to just below half. 6,000 HP on the Baron. Astralis, this is to be heroes or zeros. This is for all the Mad Lions fans to try and keep them as happy as you possibly can. You can see Zanzara, though, taking a lot of damage. Selfmade, he gets caught out, and they're going to be able to take him out. Yes, they do. They get the jungler, but the fight can now happen for Vitality. That's a massive Gnar ultimate, and Perks with this machine gun rides just blows them apart.
It's a flip, and it lands tails. It lands firmly on it, and Vitality, they will take the ball, which has been tossed right over to their side of the court. They're going to be the ones on the objective. They're going to find themselves a Baron, find themselves an even larger gold lead.
And I mean, I like where it is. It's just in you in a ditch.
It's just you in a ditch.
It's just you in a ditch. There is no last ditch. There's just you dead in it. But now he's separated from his team as they kind of try and go for this. You can see now it's actually mid laners in a 1v1 as we got a 4v4 underneath this turret. You still got Charles, the Baron Duck Cannon minion, putting in work and damage and making sure that they keep that backdoor bonus away.
This is the thing, you know, Dale does collect the wave, but there is a hull breaker on the Gnar that's still going to buff up that Cannon minion, and that's enough to break open the base. Astralis try and problem solve their way out, don't get themselves the higher road. Might caught someone in rotation, but they're not even able to commit to this.
I mean, it's so hard. This is why Xin Zhao is so powerful. You have to try and commit so much to kill him off. Cataclysm does not quite hit. It's Mark and Zanzara. He's going off to Zanzibar and holidays, you feel. This is not going to be where he's going to be able to make his final stand. And now with Super Minions teaming into that mid lane, the buff will turn off very, very shortly, but not enough for Astralis to make a stand.
Oh, it's not enough to make a stand, and they just lost the Alistar ult for I can't imagine what reason there. Maybe trying to predict something, but either way, that's the Alistar ult down. You don't have your remaining frontliner. You don't have Snowball's chance in this base.
No, and there's going to be one more. You're going to get Dayor going in, but he gets immediately exhausted. It's on to Labrov, who gets himself nicely away. The Zhonya's comes out. That's a good Moonlight Vigil, but it's not good enough unless Kobbe can randomly decide to get a pentakill. 1v5, sorry, 2v5. This game is all but done. They even get the reset off Alfari. Perks goes into golden stasis. Labrov is not afraid as they jump all the way in on top of that one. Vitality at the final port of calling. Lock the last remaining spot in playoffs, and they will face Excel in round 1.
That question mark at the end of Super Team, it's still a little bit there, but they still have a chance to contest that. Again, said it yesterday for a couple of teams. They keep themselves in the question. Sadly, that of course means Mad Lions now locked out, but Vitality is still alive.